Hi and good morning, welcome back to Going Wild again. And today we're going to look at making a footprint for my Helm 2 tent out of an old tarp material that I've got and some eyelets. So let's get on with it. So my preferential choice of tent is the Helm 2 Compact by Wild Country and Terra Nova, and it's a cracking two-man tent. I'll do a review at a later date on that, but today we're going to look at making a footprint for the Helm 2 out of this old tarp that have never been used, and it's 20 odd years old, but it's still really good tarp. And I bought some eyelets off the interweb. So we're going to put the tent up, mark out the ground sheet, cut it, put the eyelets in, and then wherever I go, and I'm going to put 4 eyelets in, but wherever we go then, I've actually got a heavy duty footprint which will more than enough, it's very heavy duty, more than enough, be adequate. And at the end of the day, I haven't spent £35. I will have spent £6 for them, and that 20 years ago, 15 years ago, no long, yeah, 20 years ago, £4. So I spent 12 and my time. Okay, maybe it's easier for some people just to go and spend 35. I've got this in stock, so away we go. Okay, so this is the top, and I'm going to cut the footprint out for this Terra Nova. I'm hoping it's big enough. It's a really old tarp, but it's really thick. I think this is meant for army, really. Right, so as you can see, I've got the tarp underneath the tent, parallel with the base and the bathtub, and then I don't know if you can see that right on the end there. I'm going to cut this to the profile of the tent by marking the outside and then cutting about 2 inch under. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at putting some eyelets when it's cut. So this tarp's not big enough to go right into the door spaces where you have your equipment. It's just big enough for the footprint where you sleep, and the length of the tent. So it needs to be a bit more square, but that'll just give me a little bit less weight. Right, let's mark it. Now I'm marking out rough. Okay, so I haven't had to cut loads of it off. Got to do is be careful that you don't nick your tent with that. So be careful with that. Right, so the next idea is putting some these kind of pegs in. So these pegs are basically from a company called Land Gar Direct. Got them off Amazon, and they just have 2 pieces. One that goes through the top, and then it just clips on top. I'm not going to clip it down because they go on tight. So you make the hole through the top with your knife, and then you whack them on. Simple. They say I think the first thing is a suitable distancing from each edge, so you don't end up ripping this tarp. So I'm going to go in about 3 inch. Might be a bit big that, but hey, get that on there. Okay, so I've pegged out 1, 2, 3. There's 3 on this side, 2 pegged out there. This is the last one here. I'll just get that tight. And I'm going to make these pegs shorter, so when we're away, I don't have to go ground as far. Soft grass today. So this is now what the footprint looks like. Now all I've got to do is mark the orientation on which way the tent runs, so I remember. And I think it's red poles in the middle at the longest points here. Red poles there and there. Blue poles there and there. And that will give me a far better chance of me not puncturing the tent when I'm out and I'm on rough ground. So I think that's not a bad little tarp. It matches green, you can't see it when it's in the tent. That's basically the footprint of what you sleep on. That's the sleeping, just a bit bigger at the ends of the sleeping compartments, as wide and as long. So I think that's cool. Okay, so the footprint that I've made, you can just see it there, fits nice and easily the full width of the tent. And just inside, so we've got full coverage of the sleeping compartment. And what I've done around this side is the extra width. I've just let it fly through. Doesn't matter about cutting that really. It's cut on the inside. It gives me that extra protection that I'm after. So all in all, I think now I've got the footprint. Alright, it's took me about an hour just to put the tent up, set the footprint out, put the grommets on, peg it down and put it back up. It's took me an hour. So an hour of my time, it's not bad. I think this Helm 2 is an immense tent. I think it's worth, I paid £149 for it, but I think they're 200 now. And it really is a well-designed tent. Anyway, I'll do that review at a slightly later date. Today's the footprint. I'm glad that I had that small tarp in green to match the tent to use as my footprint. It's worked out very well. Okay, thanks for visiting the channel and giving me some watch time. My stats show that 97% aren't subscribed, so I'd like you to maybe subscribe, ding the bell, just get me up to 1,000 subscribers. If you like wild camping, and I'm not an expert at this, I'm just starting out really out in the countryside along the rivers last year, and we did a few camps with my dogs, but my dogs have died. So I've been camping all my life, but mainly on campsites. So Doing backpacking is very interesting because I get to sleep somewhere different every night when I go out, and that's a challenge because I'm getting a little bit older, and I'm not fit, and I've got 2 discs out of my back, but I ain't going to let it stop me. So bought the Helm 2, now got the footprint, and if you want to look back on some of my past videos of some of the wild camps I've done, feel free. And the gear that I've got, I've done a vlog of the gear I've got, so if you're interested, give us a thumbs up, maybe give me some comments. How could I improve things, how could I make it better? I haven't got the lightest setup, but I have got a setup, and I think this is probably one of the nicest setups that you could wish for. No, it's not lightweight, but it's fantastically durable, and for the money, 160 quid. Alright, you're going to have all the other gear, but £160. You know, it's great, isn't it? Right, catch you later. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.